Hey guys, welcome back to Indulge with Dimples. Thank you for all the new subscribers and turning on your notifications and being a part of the Indulge crew. So let's get to it. You clicked on this channel because you liked that thumbnail and it's really juicy. That chicken kebab, chicken on a stick, or whatever you call it, I got you. So we got a marinade that we have that you can use for 4 hours or for 2 days like I did. And I'm going to show you how you can cook this in the oven or on the grill, because you know springtime is coming up. You know, I jumped through the season. Spring is coming and we are ready for them grills, the cookouts, and all that good stuff. So we're going to pray, hope, and everything goes well in our journey in life. And I got a recipe for y'all. So let's get it started with this chicken. Follow me in the kitchen. Nothing but to do it. Let's get to it. Our oven cooking. So we're gonna marinate some chicken first and put them on some little kebabs, and you can grill them or bake them in the oven. And one tip that I need to tell you, because this chicken prep meal, it needs to be done in advance, like 4 hours or the day before, so that it can taste real juicy and yummy. And it's some steps that you have to follow. So one, I have this cup right here and it has water in it, and it has like these wooden little sticks in there where we're going to put our chicken on. Now if you have the metal ones, you have invested in some good products. I don't know where my metal one's at, so we're not gonna worry about it. But these little stick ones, you can get them like in a big old pack, and they'll cost you like $2.99 to $1.99 depending on how many you need. The trick is, for these do not burn in the oven or on the grill, you have to soak them. And you can soak them overnight. You can soak them for at least an hour and a half or 2 hours, so that the water penetrates these sticks, and that when you put them on the grill or in the oven, they do not burn. Because you know, sometimes you see like the tips of them when people do it, it's really burnt. That's not what you want. So put them in it like a tall glass, put some water in them, and set them aside. That's the first tip of doing this meal. The second tip is you need to make a marinade, and it needs to be made and it needs to be set in the refrigerator with a lid on it overnight, or if you're doing this the day of, it needs to be 4 hours prior to making this. So let's do the rundown of all of the ingredients that you need, and as I tell you, I'm just gonna go ahead and stick them in my little glass bowl where we're going to put our chicken. We're going to deal with the chicken last because it's raw, and I'm going to show you how you need to cut it up to make sure that it fits on your stick skewers. So you need some measuring cups, and you need like a little bowl you're going to put your stuff in. Starting off, we're going to start off with a half of a measuring cup, and you need some extra virgin olive oil or some grapeseed oil, which are good in cooking high. So give you a half a cup of that. And your girl just had enough. Voila. Alright, so you're gonna need some type of vinegar. They want you to use balsamic vinegar. I don't have it, and I'm not running out getting no balsamic vinegar. So I have red wine vinegar, or you can use any other. If you don't have red wine vinegar, you can also use rice vinegar, which I have, but that gives you more like an Asian feel, and I don't think that's the flavor we're going with. So you need a half a cup of this. Top that off right there. Alright, so the next thing you need to do is put the tops back on these, because if they spill, I'm gonna let you know you're gonna have a mess in your kitchen. Next thing you need is some soy sauce. So you're gonna need a 1/4 cup of soy sauce and a 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce, okay? And it doesn't matter what type you use, but if I was you, I would get the one that doesn't have salt in it or less salt. If you're gonna be adding like salt, or if you're gonna be adding extra flavors to it. So you're gonna need a 1/4 cup of this, and if you have a measuring cup inside there, it says a 1/4, so you can just use the same measuring cup, but just don't fill it up to the top. And again, make sure you put your tops back on your liquids, because if they fall or anything, let me let you know something. It's going to be hard to clean up, and you don't want that mess on your hands. So the next thing you want to go ahead and do is use some Dijon mustard, and you're going to actually need this. This is going to make it more tender for you, and you're going to need 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. So I have a tablespoon right here. It's pretty big, and all I'm going to do is squirt out 2 nice sized tablespoons. Now everything is to taste. If you like Dijon mustard flavor, go ahead and add you more. If you're not a Dijon mustard fan, just go by the recipe and just add what you're supposed to add in there. So the next thing you're gonna need 3/4 cups of brown sugar. So you're gonna use a 1/2 cup plus a 1/4 cup makes 3/4 of brown sugar. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the leftover of this brown sugar. And you wanna make sure you pack it in there, because brown sugar is supposed to be packed in there to make sure that you have the right amount. So you can use light brown, dark brown. I have dark brown on hand, so that is what your girl is gonna use. Little tip, do not put your brown sugar in the refrigerator. It's going to dry it out and it won't be moist like it is right here. So all you want to do is just put it in a Ziploc bag in a dry place, like back in your cabinet or cubby, whatever you call it. Alright, so at this point we just want to mix all of this up in there so that the brown sugar, the Dijon mustard actually dissolves inside of our little mixture that we got going on. Now at this point, you just want to put 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, and 1 tablespoon of salt. And you want to go ahead and add you 2 tablespoons of rosemary. And this is garlic powder, and I'm going to go ahead and give me some salt and pepper, and voila. Or you can just sprinkle this in here if you like. Or you can use the measuring and measure it. Yeah, I know if y'all been with me, I love garlic, so I'm not gonna even measure that out like it's supposed to be. Don't even worry about what I just said about that. And I'm just gonna give it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 count for that salt. And y'all know I love me some pepper, so we're just gonna sprinkle that on in there. Now if you're cooking for somebody that don't like spice or seasoning, then you might want to follow the recipe. But if you're cooking with me and you like how I cook, you're gonna cook how I do it. Certain things I'm not even gonna measure. Garlic powder doesn't have any salt in it, so I know that this is not gonna be salty. Rosemary, it's cool, it gives a nice flavor. I'm gonna measure it, but a little sprinkle's not gonna hurt us at all. So it ain't like we scared. Now you wanna get your little whisk and whisk this up really good. And the last thing you wanna do is just put 1/8 of a lemon in your marinade. So I have a 1/4 cup, and inside the 1/4 cup it has 1/8 of a measuring in there. So what you wanna do is go ahead, wash your lemon off, get you a nice real juicy lemon, roll it like so, put a little pressure to it, and once you get a little pressure to it, it should give you like a little bounce when you squeeze it. And all you want to do is cut this lemon in half. You want to make sure you don't get any seeds in there, but if you do, it's okay, because it's not like we're drinking this or anything. It's gonna put our chicken in here and marinate it for a couple hours. So go ahead and do that, and then whisk this up. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna clean up, because y'all know I can't keep cooking in a messy space. And then I'm gonna show you how we're gonna cut this chicken up, and we're gonna sit in the refrigerator, and you know, magically y'all gonna see me cook this chicken. But this is really gonna sit for about, I want to say 5 to 6 hours, because this is early in the morning and I'm starting this. So go ahead and finish that up. up. So if you're like me, I do not like touching raw chicken, so I have some of these nice little gloves. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure your hands are completely dry, because if not, it's going to be a struggle putting these gloves on. Mine's just a little bit damp, but it'll work out. So now you can get a whole chicken and you can cut the whole chicken up. Makes more sense, money saver. Okay, or you can go ahead and get chicken thighs or chicken breasts like I have right here. Now for this, you want to go ahead and cut up all this excess skin and this fat that you do not need on the chicken, because it's not going to do any purpose or justice for us, and it's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye anyway. So go ahead and trim the chicken off, all this extra stuff. And if you have like a dog or anything, or animals in the back, you can actually cook that up and give it to them, and they will love it. So like this extra meat, normally we'll save it and we'll cook it for our dog, and he eats it. See, that makes more sense. Alright, so once you trim your chicken how you want to, you don't want to cut this thing, you don't want to cut it too big, but you want to cut it to the same diameter so that it cook evenly. So what I'm going to do is cut strips, and I'm going to cut the strips about 1 inch, so I can get 3 cuts in this, and your thumb is pretty much 1 inch, so if you're not for sure, bam. Like you would do chicken strips out of a chicken breast, okay? Like so. Now that you have it cut like this, you want to go ahead and you want to cut about 1 inch thick. So you want to cut them like cubes. I almost cut my little glove finger off. And they should look like this. Now this chicken has been washed and damped, so if you want to, after you uncut it, you can go ahead and wash it off again, but it's no need to if you did that prior. And I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting this chicken up just like so. So you don't want it too thin and you don't want it too big, because you want the chicken to be evenly cut. So you have some nice little pieces right here. So when we put it on the kebab, it's going to work out for us. So go ahead and finish cutting up your chicken. Did your duty and you have cut your chicken up, you have put it in your marinade, and all you're going to do is take your spoon or your hands if you have the glove, and you just want to mix this around in the marinade. You want this to sit at least for 4 hours if you're doing this the day of. If you're not and you're doing this a prep, you can let this sit for about an hour, for a day in the refrigerator. But if you're doing the day of, let it sit for 4 hours. That's all I'm gonna do, and when I come back, I'm gonna show you how I'm going to put them on the stick. And then once I put them on the stick, if it's nice out, I'm gonna grill it. If it's not, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna put it in the oven. This is gonna be tender, juicy, and flavorful, and you can use this as meal prep. All right, so be back, stay tuned, make sure you thumbs, like, share, subscribe, and follow the recipe to your taste. Alright guys, so we are done with them in the oven. Now if you grill them, listen, these gonna be having nice grill marks on them. But we just put them in the oven and look at the caramelization because of the brown sugar, the sauce, the marinade. I mean, it really tastes really well to the chicken. So just imagine if you put these on the grill and you outside and people are smelling this and dead of winter. Dead of winter. They're gonna be like, they know what they doing. So you can do this the day of, just let it marinate for 4 hours or at least an hour, but the longer the better. I let this sit in the marinade for 2 days. I know, I'm bad. 2 days, but the chicken is tender, the smell is delicious, and you get this nice little caramelization on there. Get into that. Look, and I even bit a little piece off. It's still hot. Look at that white meat. It's tender, it's juicy. Everybody's gonna like it. It's a finger food. You can meal prep. This is what I'm gonna do, is meal prep with this. So yeah, get into it. Alright guys, I will see y'all next Sunday. Hopefully you are liking the channel, you subscribe, you share, and thank you for all the new subscribers. Alright guys, stay tuned next Sunday.